Top 5 open world games of 2016 so far. Mirror's Edge Catalyst has perhaps gone a bit too far with the open world formula for my taste. A lot of its optional activities are pretty much just courier jobs with a timer, where if you fail you gotta hear the same lines of dialogue over and over. But if we stick to main content, this game's actually pretty good. The free running is smoother than ever, the mag rope feels awesome to swing on, and there are a couple of interesting missions as well that put your parkour skills to the test. But the open world only really shines if you turn off runner vision or at least tone it down to classic. Otherwise it just feels like you're following this GPS and not really looking around, exploring, and figuring out what's the best route for yourself. The Division is another game that follows the traditional Ubisoft open world formula, with a ton of copy and pasted side activities, but once again, there are a number of main story missions that are quite interesting. Plus, you can partner up with a few friends and explore New York together, or even tackle these missions. The reward loop is satisfying as you complete different challenges and get better gear. Everyone has a number of skills that synergize really well with each other, and while I'm not a big fan of the Division's endgame or the Dark Zone, I think the leveling up experience was fantastic. There's no shortage of activities in Stardew Valley. Farming, mining, create relationships with the other villagers, or building up your town might sound like boring chores, but they're so well executed in Stardew Valley that they don't feel as such. You can choose to work on whatever you want, there are story reasons for you to work towards different goals, which impact the village in different ways. You're always on the cusp of another breakthrough that will bring a significant change to the game, be it your farming game, getting a new animal, or a new weapon that will make your life easier at the mines, or even a horse for you to ride around town. And even if you settle into a rhythm and feel like you know what to expect from the game, it tends to throw curveballs at you with dynamic events that happen seemingly at random. It's a game full of surprises in which you constantly feel rewarded for your efforts by witnessing the changes that happen around you. Firewatch is kind of a short game and the ending left some loose ends that didn't really satisfy me, but the journey to get there was really cool. The characters are really believable and relatable, the voice acting is amazing, and the really cool thing about this game is how it reacts to everything you do. In addition to the traditional dialogue options, you can pick any object and report it to your supervisor, Delilah, who responds in a really adequate manner, making this a very immersive story to play through. The sheer amount of dialogue recorded for this game must have been something insane, and the average player will never hear it all, but it makes for a very immersive story. Also, the game looks really good. And my personal number 1 is The Witness. This is the best puzzle game ever made in my book, followed closely by Portal. It's a game that allows you to go straight to the end if you have the knowledge to unlock all of its doors, but this knowledge isn't easy to obtain. The game is expertly designed to teach you its language through the puzzles themselves, never uttering an actual word, letting the player learn and deduce things for himself. And the world itself plays a big part in these puzzle solving activities, sometimes with clues as to what the puzzles might be trying to tell you, or straight up changing things that allow you to solve a previously unsolvable puzzle. It's really hard to talk about The Witness without spoiling any puzzles, but that is the experience, so I can't really do it. I'll just say that you should never take anything in this world for granted. Even when you think you figured out some puzzle rule, there's always more to it. You should always be questioning what you learned. And even when you're not solving puzzles, the world itself is also a mystery waiting to be solved. It's simply a brilliant game. And those are my top 5 open world games of 2016 so far. I feel somewhat lukewarm towards Mirror's Edge and The Division, so I'm sure this list will change by the end of the year, but I also think we've got a really solid top 3. That said, this is simply my opinion, and you're always welcome to express yours. What's your favorite open world game this year so far? Let us know in the comments below. While you're down there, click the like button and subscribe to DGN if you haven't already. I've been Glowku, thank you for watching, bye!